once the financial year is over, the department carries out the audit and submits the audited figures before the commission. The commission scrutinizes those expenditures, and whatever are uncontrolled expenses, they are allowed to be passed on in tariff. So the department would present what was approved for the financial year 24-25 and what expenditures, power purchases have been made, and based on that we will invite comments from you all and then decide on the doing of petition. May I request the department to do the presentation.
Good morning to you all. Respected Honorable Chairperson and members of the Honorable Commission, esteemed stakeholders, my colleagues, press and media, members of the Consumer Forum, and my dear consumers. Today's presentation, firstly on behalf of Election Department, I want to extend many thanks to the Honorable Commission for convening this public hearing for the true-up for the financial year 2024-25. This true-up is being done in provisions to the regulation 2021, and this is basically reconciliation of the figures which were approved by the Honorable Commission and the audited figures subject to prudent check by the Honorable Commission. So this is the petition number 163/2026 for the approval of true-up of financial year 2024-25. Briefly, I'll explain how the power scenario of Goa is. We have a central allocation of 80 to 85% of the power comes from the central allocation, basically from the NTPCs and NPCIL. Then we have captive power plants, very small, maybe 1 to 2%. Renewable energy through bilateral agreements, short-term traders and banking arrangement for around 30 to 33%. The power is built from the power grid network, that is from the western and the southern grid. Goa's entire power is imported from the other state through interstate lines. And therefore, it is a challenging work for us to maintain the reliability since there is no power generation in our state. Total number of consumers for the year 2024-25 were 7.23 lakhs, with a total sales of 4,970.28 million units. The peak demand of Goa, what was recorded in this financial year, was 815 megawatt, which was recorded in the month of March 2025. As I said, the entire power is coming through different states via interstate lines. Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Telangana. So if you see, we are falling in the western region. We are the constituent of the western region. And Goa is a unique state where we have power from both the grids. That is the western region and the southern region. And we have around 100 megawatt of allocation from Telangana, which come through the southern grid. This is the renewable energy obligations. We all are aware how important is climate change for us, and we are the cause for it. And we need to show our care and concern through the usage of power, because almost 40% of the pollution what comes and what is the cause for climate change is power industry. So there are certain obligations, right now around 33%, 33 point something are the obligations for the state of Goa, and we are fulfilling it through various sources. From solar, we have around 81 megawatt long-term contract, 31 long-term for 25 years, Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited, 25 megawatt. Then we have NTPC Vidyut Vyapar Nigam Limited, 6 megawatt. Short-term, we have arrangement through traders, 50 megawatt. For wind, we have two 25 years long-term agreement with SECI, Solar Energy Corporation of India. That is a tranche 2 and tranche 6, 50 megawatt each. We have a bilateral wind and hydro for 100 megawatt. We have a unique agreement with SECI once again, which was signed 4 years back. wherein it is a combination of wind, solar and battery energy storage system, 150 megawatt. Then small generation which happens in the state of Goa, that's a co-generation through Vedanta 1 and 2, Goa Sponge and Power Limited, Hindustan Waste Treatment Private Limited, Vasudha Waste Treatment Private Limited and Distributed Renewable Energy, that are the rooftop solars and ground mounted. This is hardly 2 to 3%. This is the status as on 31st March 2025. As Honorable Commission, Honorable Sir also explained, this is a true-up for the financial year 2024-25, when the various expenses what has been made, what were approved by the Commission, like O&M cost, employee cost, ANG cost, depreciation, interest, which are all being done as per the regulations 2021, and as per the clause 12.1a of the regulation, we try to reconcile the figures of the approved by the Honorable Commission for the year 2024-25 and the audited figures by the CAG. So as I already explained, clause 12.3a, based on that this truing up is being done. The various, how our distribution of energy happens through various categories. If you see, we have basically 6 broad categories. The major is the industry, which is almost accounts for 47.51%. The second is the domestic, which is around 30.93%. And the third is commercial, around 16.67%. This is how the distribution of energy is being done through various sectors. This is the very important slide for the truing up, because 80 to 85% of the cost which is passed through tariff is a power purchase cost. Now if you see the central sector power station, NTPC and NPCI, National Thermal Power Corporation and Nuclear Power Corporation of India, wherein we spend almost what was approved was 1,358.20 for the NTPC Central Sector Power Station, and the actual is 1,588.65. And through various other measures or methods, we have purchased the power, short-term banking of power within state generation, as I already explained. The renewable purchase obligation, what we have, we need to comply to that through solar, non-solar, wind, hydro. Whatever power we are not able to buy physically, but as obligation, we need to buy RECs if we are not able to fulfill the obligations. Other charges, transmission, because entire power is coming through interstate line. The total expenditure which was approved for the year 2024-25 was 2,081.55 crores, with a total billion units of 5,450.07. These are the approved figures. Now if you see the last column, what is the actual which has been approved by the CAG, which have been audited by having a second round of check through an independent agency. That is, the total power purchase cost is 2,557.91 crores for the billion units or energy of 5,583.44 million units. This is the renewable obligation. RPO target to be met for that year was 29.91%, which subsequently keep increasing because Government of India, we need to complete 50% of the power by 2030. So it was around 1,486.11 million units. There was some backlog of the previous years, around 16.08. So that cumulative target what was given to us was 1,502.19, wherein we have met for the year 2024-25 around 1,645.57 with the excess of 143.37. We will definitely get adjusted for the next years. So we have completely fulfilled the RPO obligation for the year 2024-25. This is energy balance for financial year 2024-25, where the total sales within Goa was 4,860.87 with a distribution loss of 7.95%. So the net energy requirement at periphery of Goa was 5,151.50, including the losses of the interstate lines. What are the actual figures which have been audited, which have been put before the Honorable Commission for the prudent check, and finally they will get approved with the proper check. The losses which were approved were 4.02%, what we achieved at 3.91%. Capital expenditure and capitalization for the financial year 2024-25. What was submitted by the Electricity Department, by us, for that year was 567.25 crores. And the capitalization is 917.25 crores. Now, certain projects have been planned for that year. That is the capital expenditure. And capitalization is what are the projects which have been put to use. Means if a project is of, underground cabling of 100 kilometers, if we try to lay only 90 kilometers, and because of this 10 kilometers the project is not put to use or commissioned or not charged, then the entire amount cannot be capitalized. So it comes that 90% of the cost what is being incurred is shown as capital expenditure. So what was approved by the commission was 256.25 crores for the capital expenditure, and for the capitalization it was 406.25 crores. Now if you see a question which will definitely come in the minds of the consumers and the media, that the actual capital expenditure is 1,415.17 crores, with the capitalization of 348.39 crores. Now before anybody asks question, I just like to clarify. Yesterday there was one person from one of the party who just raised a query, and he went to media and said, why such a big expenditure has been done. Sometimes these political parties are the same one who talks there are no investment, no infrastructure built. And if the infrastructure built is also the question why you have an additional infrastructure built. Now we all have to understand electricity sector is a very dynamic and important and a critical sector. Today, everything runs on electricity. And if there is a disruption in electricity, the life gets disrupted. So much so that I get so much calls, people cannot even stay without power for 10 minutes. Especially in cities I have seen. I get genuine calls from old people, from scientists, people who want to work late night. And even the health gets disrupted, I would say. So all sectors, maybe it's health sector, agriculture sector, educational institutes, commercial establishment, industries, everybody want to progress, everybody want to grow. And it depends on the health of the person also. It's not just grow in terms of money. If you have a good, you want a good health also, power is an important sector. So there were a lot of issues with the Goa sector. And it depends on the government also. A person who is going to approve the government what will be elected also had to understand what is the sector, what is required. So there was a huge capital expenditure. Now if we have spent money in a lot of infrastructure like underground cabling, which has improved the reliability. And yesterday also in the public hearing, many people said that the reliability has improved. That doesn't mean there is no scope. There are a lot of scope to improve, and we need to improve, and we are improving. But a lot of infrastructure was put in terms of substation because load was increasing. Now if you want to have a different source, whenever the supply gets interrupted from one source, you need to put additional line for that so that the reliability improves, the quality improves. Therefore the huge expenditure was made. But this expenditure was within the budget was being given by the state government. And from the budget what has been collected as a public duty. So we have not crossed that. So we are within the limit. Only thing is, we need, based on the requirement, we have decided that we need to go for a huge infrastructure. And that is the reason wherein certain people are trying to misguide just for the sake of, saying, and they do not wait also to listen to the clarification what department can give. So there should be dialogue. Why I try to clarify this is because here the people who are come not even 0.1%, 99.9% are at home. They go by the media, press, what is come. And I feel Bad, because those people should not be misguided or fooled. Exact information should reach to them also, because it is the money spent by the whole state of Goa. Coming to the annual revenue requirement for the financial year 2024-25, wherein there are different components which are required for sustainability and running the electricity business. When I say the electricity business, the major cost is the electricity power purchase cost of power. Then comes the operation and maintenance, where the employees' salaries, maintenance of equipment, what are required to carry the power and transmit and distribute the power to the consumer end. Then the administrative and general cost, the printing cost, the administrative running cost. Then the depreciation, the entire capital expenditure, what has been done is not just passed through, it has been done through a certain mechanism. So depreciation, based on the regulation, various percentages for various equipments is there, and that is how over a period it has been recovered. Interest and finance charges and interest on working capital. Certain money is required for a working capital to run the business. So there are the components which have been approved by the regulation, by the commission, by the act. The ROI, return on equity, just because if a distribution company cannot ask any ROI, there are certain caps and certain standards. Interest on consumer security deposit, the money of the consumer, what we have as a deposit, there also interest. The total ARR, which was approved by the Honorable Commission, was 2,763.93 crores. And the actual expenses, because now everybody will ask another question, why these expenses increase. This cost, whenever we try to approve it, we approve it 1 year before the actual year. And the power purchase cost, 80% of the power purchase cost remain same when the Honorable Commission approves it. There is a one component which is also approved by the Honorable Commission by way of a formula, which is called an FPPC, Fuel and Power Purchase Cost Adjustment. Because now our country is not having enough coal, or this coal resources has to be used in such a manner that it is enough for the future generation also. So we buy a lot of coal from the other countries, and there are taxes and there are other costs which is increasing. It depends on the quality of the coal. So there is a variable component which is not approved during 2024-25, but a formula is approved how we can charge these charges to the consumer, pass these charges. That also we cannot pass extra charge. There is a capping for that also. So the total net ARR, because we have a certain income by way of selling of scraps or by way of rental charges of our assets. So it was the total net ARR was 2,719.41 crores. On actual, after auditing, the actual amount is 3,151.91 crores. This many crores were required to run the electricity business with all the taking factors and different expenses as per the regulations. So if the actual expenditure was 3,151.91 crores, how much revenue has come from the people of Goa, from the various consumers, various categories, was 2,970.91 against 2,597.38, which were approved by the Honorable Commission. So the gap which was approved was 122.04 crores. And after actual calculation, the gap is 181.70 crores. Now here also, yesterday one party said, same person, that this has increased. This is not increased. Whatever the power purchase cost deviation because of the dynamic structure of the power sector and because of the demand increase of the Goa, and because we have arranged the power during the peak hours. Sometimes the peak hours cost goes between 9 to 10 rupees, whereas the consumers what give during peak hours is maximum for that year is about 130%. So if it is worth 6 rupees, 6 multiplied by 1.3 is the maximum cost what is being paid to us. So still there is a 2 rupees difference. So because we try to arrange power during peak hours to see that we do not have any load shedding, and so that we give a quality and uninterrupted and sufficient power as per the demand of the state. This revenue gap, though it is there, government of Goa state has given a budgetary support and open letter, whatever the difference would be for that year will be absorbed by the state of Goa. So this was the presentation. You might have a lot of doubts, clarification. I'm here and I'm thankful to you all for patiently hearing it. If you have any question, clarification with the permission of the Honorable Chairperson, I'm here to clear all the doubts. Let the doubt be raised and I will be here to give the clarification. Thank you so much.
So we can now start with the stakeholder consultation. Shri Manoj Syed.
Hello.
You're audible, please.
Audible. Myself, Manoj Syed, from Rawal Group. I am here to talk on the behalf of the industry sectors. Like we have our manufacturing plant in Konkani Industrial Estate. This estate was developed by government of Goa only in a long time before. Those times the power was being purchased from electricity department, supplied by them. But there was not enough space to do the self-generation over there. As now government of Goa, and recently last month the Honorable CM has told that Goa will target 100% renewable power. My suggestion in this to the electricity department is that they have come with its rooftop scheme and everything that you self-generate it and consume it. But due to limitation of the space within the industrial estate, due to various reasons, some now in under roof or terrace they are putting chillers and shadow areas and comes of this. They have come with the precondition you can put ground mounted also solar for your self-consumption and within the premises. I request them that they should consider for the captive power only, mostly I am saying that the manufacturing firm can put the solar plant in different places within the Goa and offset that power of that manufacturing plant. This is which is called as captive power in open access. And other states in every state they have implemented by their state commissions also. So that request I am putting over here that should be also been implemented in Goa. That plant installed in others land but should be offset to that manufacturing plant as a captive power. Thank you.
I really did not understand your concern because that kind of, I would not call it scheme arrangement is already been existing right now. You can always put a plant elsewhere and you can get a benefit of it. What exactly you are trying to ask for a change?
No, that will be might be someone else will be putting the plant.
Yes.
And he will be selling that power as private. As a private power selling. I'm not saying the private. Suppose my company is there in Konkani Industries, but I'm not having space.
No, that is also there. See, in that condition also to get rid of the cross subsidy and additional subsidy, 26% of the stake should be with that company. Now, if you are saying 100% you want to put a stake, then there is no problem for that.
But I can put that solar plant in other
Yes,
land?
for your own use you can put it.
Okay.
You have to give us the billing charges. There are provisions for that.
Fine, then thank you.
If you have something more, then I think we need to clarify it.
No, not
and,
more.
We can.
As per the consumption of our factory,
Yes,
we will
your
require.
own consumption.
Yeah, what you are saying is possible. Maybe after the hearing is over, you can talk to him. It's not required that it will be set within the same premises. You can set it elsewhere. If the same company is doing it, or even if they are holding a substantial equity, that is possible. You can get the details after this consultation.
Fine. Thank you.
Next, Dixon Vaz.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the Sarpanch of Kamalosin, Coastal Belt. First of all, I would like to congratulate, since I was in office a few years ago, we had a lot of issues with what is that? The line coming from
Konkani and JERC.
yeah. So we had a lot of issues, especially because we have a lot of star hotels, and there was a lot of issues with the inlining current. And after talking to Stephen and series of meetings, it has been improved. So we would like to thank you for that. After these years, we have not so much issues, even though there are minor. What I see is every substation, we need to have that lift, where they repair that, they don't have. Or at least in each constituency they should have, because every time they have to borrow, and as a result, constant, the work is not done. And also the second thing, we should not wait for monsoon to cut down the trees or chopping of the trees. This same lift or crane can help throughout the year, so that we don't wait for the monsoon. And then we see that dangerous branches are falling down. So that works need to be taken throughout the year. You don't need to wait for monsoon and heavy wind and then the line to fall down, And also the uniforms, they should have some kind of reflectors. We don't see that. It is very simple, easy. If you have some kind of reflector on the uniform whenever they are working, it will be visible in the night time, especially when there is a power shutdown or some kind of accidents. So these are very easy fixing things which we can do. The third one is, now I see that there is a lot of hue and cry, and there will be about overload. I know you're going to impose the overload charges on the people, consumers. As we all know, even myself or anybody, we always, when we start our home, we always go with the first initial load. And then of course we buy a fridge, we extend the room, we put one more AC, we put one washing machine, and we keep on adding up. This common person is not aware about that. And I think there is no kind of, you should not call it as a cheating, but you should give time for the consumers to explain to village by village, so that it is a smooth transition instead of imposing that overload penalty, and then there will be like a agitation, Basically, these are the common people from the lower level who are low income will always feel the pinch. The middle class and above will not see much difference. But if you are getting always 300 rupees a bill, and then after this you will get 1,000, that daily working employee will feel it. So I think this is something we need to give them time. I think it should be taken to the village by village and implement it properly. And it should not be like somebody will come and check one by one, and in a nice way. I think in the villages it will be very nice to implement this. And one last thing is, it might be a little bit funny here, but when I was going to Maharashtra sometime, have you gone to that, I don't know the name, where you have the fishing village, Tarkali, that Vengurla area. They all have, the lines are parallel. We have 3 lines. I'm talking about line, and 3 and 2. So whenever the coconut tree falls down, they touch, and then there is a short. And then it's a small thing, but then we end up in half an hour waiting. But if you go to Maharashtra, if you're in the coastal line, all these lines are straight. So even something, and there is a stick in between so that they don't touch. Because Goa frequently we have one coconut tree leaf fall down, and then it all and they all say, light gaya, putun geli light. But they don't know the situation is not because of the incoming or accident. It is just because one coconut tree or leaf branch fell down and that touches all the wires. So if you go to Maharashtra, I don't know the name, they have the cottages, that area, after Vengurla I've seen that. All the lines are parallel. And there is a stick in between. So anything falls down, there are less chances for the any branch or a coconut leaf to be hanging on them, because they are straight. So I know we are going underground, but I don't know why coastal belt is not taken as a priority, since we have the highest revenue for the state government. I think you should not go with political conviction. You should go with priority in the coastal belt to have underground cabling, so that our tourism and our revenue, we get good service. So thank you very much. Thank you.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Dixon, and I am thankful to you that whatever points you have raised, I think they are good points and which makes sense, and that is I always say the local representative always try to see a solution. First in the sky lift, you said, we have provided 38 sky lift for last 2 years and 10 cranes. So I will try to review the situation at your place, why it is not sufficient. If it is not sufficient, we will try to give an additional lift. Coming to uniform is also another good idea where there should be reflective where people are working, and it is always a good suggestion. We will try to implement it. Cutting of trees, yes, before the monsoon it should happen. Our people somehow are, I would say, yes, I agree, they are lacking. They say they are doing tree cutting of the entire year. But this is the one area where we need to improve, and we see rigorous cutting of trees happen before monsoon, because Goa is a state where a lot of rainfall is there, and we need to improve on this, where we will improve. Awareness, yes, Mr. Dixon, you said correctly, awareness, but sometimes what happens with these contractors or these local people, sometimes they try to misguide the people and try to take small load. Let's say today's the average load of a normal house should be within 8 to 10 kilowatt. People have taken even 0.5 kilowatt. And this needs to be, because of which we are not able to plan, and because of which our lines are also not sufficient to take enough load. This, you have good suggestion, we had given a lot of public notices. But if you want us to have local awareness also, we will try to do this.
See, what I am saying is, this will be something will affect a common person.
Yes.
And without implementing, and then I think every local MLA should be aware. It is also his responsibility, because they are the one, then they will lead agitation. So I think you should also give a suggestion to the local MLAs so that they pass it on to the local government panchayat bodies, and then we pass it to the ward and we say this is coming up implementation, so that people are aware, and then you designate, I don't know who will do it,
Yes.
maybe your officer or your JE, whatever level, so they will implement it faster, because there will be a problem. Because they feel like when somebody comes to your home to check, the point, definitely it's kind of somebody coming to put you a raid. So we should not have that kind of,
Yes.
because most of the electricians who are in the area, they are very familiar, especially the linemen. They are very familiar to every house, because they know that. And I have to say, in my village, we have a very good team. The linesmen know every single house, don't know my phone call. If I tell them like that, so I think you should involve them to make this kind of awareness in a nice way. And then anything, they should come in the panchayat to get more information. So there is a smooth transition.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. You are the first political figure who has really given good suggestion, who has understood what is happening, and you are trying to find a solution, fix a problem with a dialogue. I am really thankful from the bottom of my heart, because when political figures also try to understand it and give solution instead of simply criticizing, I think you really care for Goa. I am thankful to you. Your all 5 suggestions were good. Coconut tree, what you said, I did not understood, but I am sure you have some solution in your mind. Because the way you was trying to put it, we will separately talk to you, we will try to get it understand and try to implement it. And thank you, you observed something which other state is doing, and you have given a suggestion for us for the improvement. I am once again really thankful from my bottom of the heart, because you are the guy who has 5 suggestions, and all I accept. Certain things I accepted, yes, my people are not doing, and I will try to improve it. You have firstly given an appreciation to my people, because I remember the power scenario at your place has really improved, which you have firstly accepted it, and then you have given certain suggestions which definitely will take care. I will personally meet you and see how this 5th suggestion can be implemented.
Next, Ramuna Almeida.
Good morning. I'm the convener of the Valley Civic and Consumer Forum. So I'm just trying to highlight a few points that we face in Valley. Basically, we have been noticing in Valley a lot of fluctuations in certain areas. I'm not sure what exactly is it, and then there are certain areas where we have been highlighting, but we can't. I mean, I don't know whether there's a new JE in charge, and I'm not sure whether he understands that the reason some of the lines at particular phases keep, getting tripping or whatever the reason.
Yeah, you can go next. I understood the problem.
So another point is we are regarding the digging of to put the underground cabling that is happening in around Konkani, Veli, Baga, those areas. Because I think there is no proper channel. The digging is interfering with other cables which are underground. So continuously, the moment electricity digs, the telephone cables or telecommunication gets disrupted, and this has been having. We have various issues with that, and we can't seem to understand if there is any liaison between, or there is any communication between electricity department or the other departments, and how you all can solve that issue. Another point I would like to make is around Veni, I think we were the pilot project for the bunch cabling. It was a failure, as you mentioned, and we see it, I guess. But the cables have not yet come down. They're still hanging like Christmas decorations, all along the route. So I think if it's not in use, we need to take it down, because we are taking down everything else. We need to take these cables also down, because as a lot of high-rise vehicles are passing by, and they keep touching all the wires and pulling them down. So I think you can have a look at that. Another thing I've noticed that in Borda they have started, I'm not sure if all around Margao, they have started LPG underground cables. So my concern actually is if petroleum is liquid petroleum is passing through those pipelines, and electricity cables also are going underground, how is it going to, I mean, is there anything that we need to be worried about as citizens?
So once again, whatever you spoke, everything I agree. There are fluctuations. See, we had taken huge infrastructure projects all across Goa, but somehow if you see the quantum of works been done in Veli is slightly lower than the other constituencies or other places, rather I would say. One reason is, though we have spent a lot of money, there was certain constraint on the budget. We wanted to be in the budget. But yes, there are many projects have been done underground also in Veli. But there are 3-4 projects which are still overhead lines, which we are trying to do replacement of again with the overhead lines, which will definitely improve. Since there are many years has passed, like 20 to 25 years, the insulators, the wires, sometimes, they touch each other, sometimes they break, and you get it fluctuation. As a lay person, for you, any small tripping, the moment again we charge, it will be a fluctuation for you. So I agree, and we are trying to improve on that.
Basically, in fact, in the last month, a lot of people have got a lot of gadgets. I myself, at my meter box, my MCB got burnt. So, it's not that, a lot of people have TVs and fridges and all have hotspot. So, so, I mean, those losses, as a common man, who is bearing, it's a huge loss besides.
That losses, see, unfortunately, since it is an overhead network, when certain faults, like coconut trees, as Mr. Dixon said, the lines get shorted. Now, there should be certain provision at your house also to isolate that fault and clear it so that your equipments can be protected. But I am not passing the entire responsibility to you, but the equipments are not designed to isolate in that, I would say, milliseconds, so that your equipment should be protected. But it is to do something with protection also, and we should work also to reduce the intensity of fault.
Yeah, so I mean, like you're saying, when for example, my residence, the MCB got one, what protection I could take
so therefore, your MCB is not designed to carry that fault which should have been carried. Without burning, the MCB should open. How to explain it? Like, if there is some current goes from one,
MCB has to be cut off, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it cuts off.
So if it is
supply.
burning means it is not able to sustain the current. You know, see, fault can be anywhere.
It is a power supply, isn't it?
No, it's power supply also. Your power supply could be my power supply, but your equipment should be designed for that. Like a TV is designed that you can cut off if the voltage goes beyond the permissible limits. But you know, certain manufacturers, they...
Exactly, so if there is a fault in my MCB, I need to know what kind of an MCB I need to put.
No,
I am buying
that
an
you
online-
need to see,
Yes.
you have to see what kind of equipments you are using, and based on that you have to do, audit is a bigger word, sort of, you know, somebody should come in to analyze when the MCB has, you know.
The MCB is at the meter.
Exactly.
The main MCB. So
Exactly.
anyway,
Yeah.
one more point which I missed out is about the street lighting. We are talking about smart meters, we are talking about consumption. I'm really concerned about the street lighting, which is always, it is on during the day also. Today, it's the poor don't, the complete poor don't pay for so much because according to their billing, are not paying that much when you talk about the street lighting. And the rich can afford to pay for the street lighting also. But it's the common man, the middle class is badly hit by this because in spite of informing them about the street lights being on during the day, because you're putting the street light billing on the households. And I've been making complaints about street lighting during the day, you know, is it wrong? But I think you all don't have a automatic shut off, or you all don't have people to put. So I don't know why that is, and you're wasting the electricity.
Yes,
Basically, I'm concerned
I
about the
understood.
wasting.
I answered to your problem. Fluctuations are digging, underground cabling. Yes, there is no coordination between various agencies which have been working. When the job is given to a contractor, he tries to finish his part so that he also wants to complete the work with the minimum manpower here. Yes, we need to improve on that. Certain lines like water lines, telephone lines. As per the contract, the contractor should try to do a survey and see what are the different utilities there, and they should do that kind of study, which is not happening, which will try to improve. AV cable, I already replied, you know, that is a different kind of subject which has been there for last many years, almost 7 to 8 years. Border underground cabling, we always have a coordination of gas pipeline, and because we need to take certain permission from other utilities. So we do take of that gas pipeline. There is also a protection for that. Now sometimes the protection phase, now if I say there is a protection, nothing should happen, 99.99% it should operate. The moment some, tripping the gas line should be automatically put off. So it is safe, but still if it doesn't come on at the right time, there can be some problem. Street lights, as you said, MCB gets burned. Same way we have a contactor in the poles. So after certain time, after that time delay, it should become on, and after that time, it should become off. But as you said, certain your MCB got burned. Same way, our contactors also, we are on the job how to get better contactors so that they don't fail. So the moment they fail, the street light remains on. So sometime, if public can call also, though I don't want to give their responsibility to you, because it becomes easy. Many people call me also, and then I call the concerned people and they do it. Then you have to do manually. Because if you see 10 years back, we used to put street lights after 3 poles, 4 poles. But today, Mr. Dixon also will agree, every local representative wants light to be on every pole. So number of lights have increased. So number of contactors have increased. So we have done that automatic, but sometimes that automatic doesn't work. And you will see, whenever the light is on, it will come to your, you'll observe it. So we are working on it, how to improve the contactors, how to go for a better. In between, the AMC, what was given for this, had actually, got over. And we were trying to do it ourselves, but then, it was not possible. It was taking more time, so we renewed it. That was almost 6 to 7 months. So we have already improved on it, but still we need to further improve on it.
Next, Sabio Contino.
Good morning, sir. I don't know if this has been raised earlier, but I would like to understand basically the new system of billing that is happening. Some three-layer billing has started taking place, and it's difficult to understand because there are common dates, common readings, like and the bills are high. I mean the amount is high eventually. So if you could just shed some light on what is this process, new process that has been adopted, because closed premises which were getting minimum the same bills suddenly has gone up to 680 rupees, which was about 30-40 rupees, has gone to 680 for a period of 32 days. So I would like to understand like what is the new system that has been adopted by which bills also have started coming higher. Secondly, when Madam speaks about street lights, and even you have mentioned that most street light fixtures have been provided, I would like to understand whether there is any life for these single arm poles that are being fixed, that have been installed, whether there is any life. Because we witness that over a short period of time, suddenly they are replaced. Whether they need to be replaced, nobody understands, or whether it is just because of some tenders to be floated and tenders to be awarded that the poles, single arm poles, which are in good condition, have been replaced directly.
So what is replaced? Light is replaced or
no, the full arm is, single arm is replaced along the full stretch of road, which is a burden on the taxpayer eventually. Because we can't understand, within a period of 2 or 3 years, it's replaced. Secondly, with regard to the smart meters and the directions to fix the meters outside the premises. Basically, where exactly? On the outside of the house premises or on the compound? Because that is also needs to be clarified. Because in some cases, the meter reader, he doesn't enter the compound. He puts the bill on the gate and shown as door lock. Though the gate is normally open, he doesn't enter the premises, doesn't enter, even if the meter is outside the house basically. The meter reader doesn't enter the compound for whatsoever reasons he may have. And eventually the bill is fixed on the gate. So, and the next bill, you never understand like how much it would come.
But now with the new smart meter, you don't require to come inside at home.
Yeah, but that's what. So replacement. So replacement of the meters. How it is going to happen basically.
Because sir, you all send notices to people when you are putting smart meters. Now you can just read the smart without even entering the premises. But you all have sent letters to people to put shift all the meters outside. So it is a double expenditure for people who are shifting outside. Because you have actually sent, if you do not do this, we will be cutting your line and all that. You send letters.
Warnings have been given that it would be disconnected. So one side you are asking to shift this thing, and you are talking about smart meters. And when that pole, I was just talking about the street lights, the poles are being cut basically, but they are not cut below the ground level as such. Certain portion remains up. So that also affects vehicles and all can be damaged. Even people can trip on them. All this.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Savia, for your one is billing understanding. There is what he was trying to refer is, I think, time of day tariff. Okay. See, there is no change of billing for domestic consumers. The rate has increased by 5% in this year. Today, what we have presented is a truing up for 2024-25. But with the permission of Honorable Chairperson, I will answer for the bill. So, for this year, we have changed the time of day tariff. We had 3 slabs: morning, evening peak, and off peak. So before it was 7 to 6, which has become now 8 to 5. The second slab was 6 to 11, which has become from 5 to 1 o'clock. and before it was 11 to morning 7, now it has become 1 to 8. So the slabs timings have changed. But good thing for the consumers, and which has gone against the department, is the Honorable Commission had changed the timings a little bit and also the rates. So these 3 slabs, morning, evening peak and off peak. So morning peak was always charged at 100%, is the normal rate. Whatever you charge, you will be charged with the normal rate. The peak power was charged at a rate of 130%. Means 30% a consumer has to shell out more. Now this is not for domestic. This is not for domestic, it was for the industries. And the off peak, it was 80%. Now why this was being done before is night time there is a lot of power available in the market. When the supply is more than the demand, the rate comes down. So the rate is to come down by 3 to 4 rupees. So this arrangement was made so that we protect the lines and enough power can be given to the whole of the country. So that to make good money or make profit, people will try to shift of evening load to off-peak hours where the rate is low, where the supply is also more. Therefore, this incentive was given to shift the load. But unfortunately for department, with certain reasons, Honorable Commission made it 80% during the normal hours. That is morning, means 20% reduced. Further, 130% also the Honorable Commission reduced to 120%, again a second hit for us. But one good thing as per the proposal, which is not a good thing for us, Commission has increased from 80 to 100% during night time. Now this has increased night time. The night time load has remained almost same. But the daytime where a lot of consumption happens, there we have a reduction of 20%. Again, we buy power during peak hour. See, Goa has a different problem. Our load increases during peak hour between 5 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we need to buy only those hours from outside market at a high rate, at a rate of 9 rupees to 10 rupees. So therefore we are having a hit. So if you see overall, the prices should come down for the industries. For our domestic, the rate what is increased is 5%.
I was referring to a domestic premises.
The domestic, there is no time of delay. So time of day, sorry.
Yeah. But
But sometimes consumer feels there is an increase of, see, a consumer never sees. Sorry, I got it because I also understand. So I also have a family, I also have a bill. No, I got it. Your concern as a consumer, I am trying to understand and answer as a consumer. I understood your problem. See what happens, consumption increases, maybe because of the ACs, maybe because of different gadgets. So nobody sees how much the consumption is increasing.
No, you didn't get my point. I'm talking about a premises that is closed.
No, premises are closed. Can you please give a complaint to me? I will. If the premises is closed, there should not be any consumption.
Stephen, I would like to intervene here. If you have a billing problem, you approach CJRF. You first approach the CJRF. This is not a point which is to be discussed here. If you have an individual problem that is the closed premises, the bill is high, please refer it to the CJRF and they will.
Other also similar nature.
Yeah. Okay, still Sagar, I will not personally.
I would ask Mr. Stephen to explain about the bills being brought outside. That part you should explain.
Yeah, okay, fine, sir. So immediately I will second point, life of poles. We do not replace the pole just like that unless the pole is rusted or there is danger for that. Normally the life of any metal should be between 25 to 30 years. But in Goa, because of the coastal environment, sometimes the life is reduced. But we do not replace the pole in less than 10 years or 15 years. Still, I will try to go in detail of this thing.
If you can just study the tenders that have been issued for fixing of single arm poles.
Okay, I will check. I will note it down. Meter relocation. We have total number of 7,50,000 meters. 7,25,000 consumers meters is already accessible outside outside your building or inside the room or inside the premises. So it is as per the regulation, the meter should be accessible for a meter reader and any department staff. It is nothing to do only with taking meter reading. Primarily because of the meter reading. Secondly, for the safety. Third is any theft is going on not. Because up to the metering point, the assets and everything belongs to department. So we should be able to come any time without any disturbance to the consumer, surprise checks. So the point that one of the lady has made from building is not only, it doesn't have any relation with smart metering. Unfortunately, the coincidence is both has come together. Smart metering project will only, they will replace the meter and the box. Now they will not go and bring the meter out. So therefore, that is a separate exercise where in the last 1 year, we've been sending notices through public. Because in the assembly, they said 45 days or 2 months are not enough. After that, we have taken a decision to give 1 year. Various, like advertisement number 1, 2, reminder 1. So sufficient time has been given. If you want more clarification, we will try to give. And this is only for 25,000 other people. Why when 7,25,000 already comply, they are following rules and regulation, why this benefit should be given only for 25,000 people who in fact are not following the guideline properly? So that is the...
Okay, you're saying regarding the meter thing, most of these meters are basically in this Portuguese era houses. And what happens, I own a Portuguese era house. The issue with keeping a meter out is the dampness which comes to the rain, especially in the rains. Because even though you have just the structure of the house is such. So in my case, for example, if I put a meter out, I am undoubtedly running the risk of getting dampness because of the wind patterns and this. So in such a situation, how do you, because then again the department will, because the meter burns, again the consumer is held responsible. So in such a situation, how do you address this?
So dampness should not affect you. My full electricity comes in the rain. My full conductors are in the rains. My many equipments like RMU and distribution box are in the rain. So dampness, you need to protect the meter with a proper box. You should do proper earthing and the wire should exactly go where it's supposed to go. So any dampness will not have any issue for your listening. But yes, like a layman, you will have that concern. But that is not a real concern. You need to see how your vendor, your contractor is doing a job. Any electrician is not a big contractor. A technician who comes and fix it properly. So therefore I said 7,25,000 already out and been running it.
So why don't, if it's just a small number, why can't the department itself help the consumer?
No, see 25, I got your point.
Because the line stuff. So then the onus comes on the owner says, then they think the fault being pushed on the consumer. So let the department itself help assist such people to. It's a very simple solution.
Yeah, see, there are two things. One is it is a cost. Why the 25,000 who has not complied to the regulation and guidelines, that cost should be borne by 7,25,000 is not correct. It is an injustice for other people who have done the work correctly, properly, who have followed the rules. Second is, it is a responsibility of the consumer to do it. You can always call us under our supervision, you can do it.
But it was the department only has fixed the meter.
No, department has not fixed the meter. Department fixes the meter where the location is, because it's our property where we fix. But we do not decide where the meter has to be fixed, where the MCB has to be fixed. That is decided by the consumer. But we always say it should be at an accessible point.
One question. When the smart meters issue came, I heard from many people, they saying smart meters will be like Tata Sky. If your money is there in the account, and then you can watch it. If there is no recharge, then the Tata Sky stops. Is it something like that also, or is it just a rumor? Can you just give more clarification on this? Because a lot of people are concerned because they say it will be like similar like that. Can you imagine if I forgot to recharge my electricity, smart meter, and then 1 o'clock there is a medical situation or something in a hospital or whatever it is, or at home, and the current goes off and then everything stops. Can you just give more information on this?
We are digressing to the topic, but we'll
We can.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Dixon, whatever points you have raised till now were a really great point. This is also a good point for the interest of the people. Mr. Dixon, you will understand, as you have already mentioned, electricity is such an important commodity or a necessity or a lifeline. You call it anything and everything. Without electricity, nothing is possible. How this Honorable Commission came, how the Act came, to protect this electricity, because this has become an important commodity in the life of every citizen who has aiming to prosper or to have a good health or anything and everything. Therefore, certain regulations were made. But slowly, the DISCOM started, becoming bankrupt. If you become bankrupt, you will not try to improve your infrastructure. You will not try to put money on the electricity, which is very, very important. So government tried a lot of, reforms. And that is how it has improved, losses have reduced. So electricity cannot be wasted, because you should understand, we are importing the entire electricity from outside states. But this electricity comes from the resources which are becoming, we are depleting. Means in the future, our children and grandchildren will not have enough resources to generate electricity. Now you will say, I am giving big lectures, but this is a fact. The climate change you take or the resources. We should see the resources they have not come from our ancestors. Yes, they have kept enough from by our ancestors, but we have taken as a loan from our future generation. So I am coming to the point.
Come to my point.
Yes, point only I am coming, explaining you. Wait.
Is it a similar?
Wait, therefore, there have been a lot of reform. I am not going through the reform. The last reform of government of India thought, because we also have opposition leader always ask one question, what are the areas? Areas around 400 to 500 crores. Many culprits are there who are doing a theft and who are not paying on time. Now for this reason, smart metering came, because it is only a communication where I will come to know and get a lot of insights which will 100% benefit everybody to reduce the consumption. Now there is one feature in that, it is called prepaid metering. Now, Mr. Dixon, when you have applied for a connection and when I have given your connection, if you see, you are giving me 2 months security deposit. Means, if your bill is 2,000, you are supposed to pay me 4,000 as a deposit. So your 4,000 is already with me. Now with prepaid, what will happen? You do not have to give that 4,000. That means actually you are paying after 2 months only. But as you said, it is like Tata Sky, where you need to pay and consume. But we will see that it becomes so easy that everybody will be able to have a better supply, good supply. State also will have the money which is of the people of Goa, and losses will reduce. Everything will happen best. And these 2 months, what you are paying, you will not give. So it doesn't become first you pay. In fact, I will give your money back, and you are going to give me money only for that month, not for 2 months bill. Okay, Mr. Dixon?
So now, if you don't pay and your security deposit is gone, finished, then what happens?
Yeah, then it has to be disconnected. And even now also we need to disconnect it. But now what happens, people try to use the muscle power, sometimes political power, sometimes, and
But you
though
with this new system of what is called by that overload, you will get all the paying. Somebody is not paying on time. That is one issue. And now with the overload charges, if you give them time, people will correct it, and you will get actually there is no power tap unless you do it physically. But if your capacity when you install the first connection, it is always less. And then you end up on putting AC, but your bill is coming exactly on consumption. So there is no theft on consumption.
no, there is, most of the people do not theft, but there is theft.
So this is for me, I think, which are the states are using the smart meters?
Almost 80 or 85%, the exact number, if you want, I'll tell you, 85% are given the contracts. In fact, Goa is the last, since the number is small. And Goa, people are on social media, and small state education is also, literacy rate is also high. We kept it to understand how it could, because all smart metering came together. There was a demand-supply problem with the meters. The technology has to be seen, how the communication happens. So we waited, and in fact, we have come in the
as a small and medium hotel operators, I think this is not a good thing, because sometimes business off season we don't have much business, but still we pay the bill. So I think some kind of consideration, for household is 1 or 2,000. Will come in 75, 35, 45. So I think some consideration for a business, I think should be considered, because sometimes it's not possible to pay the salary, to pay the water bill, to pay the maintenance, pay everything on time.
Yeah. Sir, your concern is correct, but in the overall picture, if you see, it will benefit. You will be able to have a lot of insights. You will have a data every day, every 15 minutes, what was your consumption. So you will be able to run your business better, in a much better and
My
efficient
concern is finally after 5 years, everything will be mandatory. Gas line will be cut. Water bill also will be the same system. Electricity is the same system. So I think only the rich people I'm talking about, I think it is not good for where the state have a lot of unemployment. Goa have the highest rate of unemployment. So that is the issue. If you have money, there's not an issue. But if you go to the ratio of the national statistic, Goa have highest number of unemployment. Businesses are down. So I think we are only depending on tourism.
Yeah.
There is, so
Mr. Dixon, see, this smart metering will, last line I will say, and I'll stop on this subject. This is not a forum. Actually, we can have a separate.
Can we have other speakers also, please?
Yeah. So lastly, I will say is, we need to have a discipline. When you have discipline, you are able to know responsibly how much to consume, how much to save, and what is my capacity. Overall, it will give a benefit and a good thing.
The government.
I think you need to have more stakeholder meetings.
Yes, which we have done. We will try to take more. I take a point taken by
So the government, with much fanfare, had replaced all the street lights with LED lights, with the expectation that power would be saved. Is there any study conducted as to how much power has been saved? Even considering the additional poles.
Yeah, that study is there.
Yeah, if some information could be shared with us, it would have been nice. Whether power.
That study is there. We have increased it almost more than 100%. Number of this, though we have gone for LED, consumption has come down. The number of lights has increased.
Yeah, but if you can give us the figures.
Next, Mr. Amit Patkar.
So once again, since you said it's a burden for people who have not paid, I mean the meter thing, 7,25,000 you said, has complied. Has complied. So since you said, is it not a burden for 7,25,000, for people, meters, because of this 25? Am I right?
So therefore we are not.
But there are some dues from industries which has not been, the revenue has not been collected.
So
is that not a burden for common people?
Okay, I'll answer that. If that whatever is not coming, we do not consider it. When the tariff is decided, we do not see how much money has come. Whatever is billed, based on that only, the cost is passed through to the consumers.
So I'm talking about the
I got
industry
it.
which has not been, because there are a lot of dues.
Therefore, we have disconnected now only that dues what is there of, not now.
Yes,
20, 25 years of dues where the interest component itself is 300 crores, which we have disconnected them.
No, it is more than that.
Yes. We will.
How much partners was there?
We are like partner has been here.
Again, we are digressing the topic.
Honorable Chairman, good morning. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am Amit Patkar, the President of Goa Congress. Anyways, I am submitting a detailed memorandum raising objections to this today's meeting. But I would like to raise about maybe a couple of points, or maybe 3 points. I don't want to go into detail. I am submitting a detailed memorandum. I think, I think some people are talking about smart meters and all. I think smart meters is a separate topic. If you open it, you open up Pandora boxes. We'll take it up later. JERC's, I think, main, scope of responsibility is basically the electricity tariff regulations, then regulations of power utilities. I think these are the main issues which I would like to focus. We have a young CE, I think probably he'll be the youngest CE in the entire country, I believe. He speaks very nicely, very softly, so that it feels very good when we hear him. I'm just trying to compare the sheet which he's kept it here for us. Now the lady here, Ramona from Valley, raised certain points as citizens that because of the power fluctuation, the appliances, TVs, the Sarpanch also raised certain points. And I'm hearing the CE saying that we have, there are a lot of constraints for budget, a lot of infrastructure work has been carried out. That is what he said. Also, he just mentioned that there is muscle power, political power. So I would like to know what muscle and political power people can influence the electricity department. Now, if we go, anyways, he had given he had come for approval, and today I think this is the true-in for 24-25. Now, if we go basis what he's talking about infrastructure, I think he had in 24-25 he had taken an approval for capital expenditure of 256 crore. And if you see on the actual money what he has spent is roughly about 1,415 crores is spent on capital expenditure. Now the gap, if you see, when he came, he said he needs 256 crores. He spent more than, I think, almost close to 5 times the money is put into capital expenditure. Now, one side is saying there is constraint of budget. He is replying to the lady saying that we have increased the infrastructure. Now, when he is deviating from what he is asking, he is going 6 times more and spending. We fail to understand where this money is going. This gentleman here, Mr. Savio Coutinho, said that within 1 year we have seen poles are being replaced. He is saying it's a coastal state, but whatever poles we can see now, I think mostly are aluminium based. So I don't think so there is any case of getting corroded. Now my second point is, he said that revenue gap which was approved was 122 crores. He's saying actually it is 181 crores. Now these are the figures which was given by the department. Now if we compare, the gap is almost about 59.66 crores, which is roughly about 49% of what he had taken an approval. Now we need to know that whether the estimates were wrong, whether the approval what he had taken were wrong, or actual what he is saying now, because ultimately the common man, it is going to burden the common man. He is saying that the budgetary support is coming from the government. The last petition, ma'am, when we had given you a memorandum, I had given him a suggestion that Goa being a very heavy tourism state, there is this concept of villas on rent. A lot of people here have built villas, especially people from Delhi and all, have built huge villas, and they are giving these villas on rent, charging 1 lakh rupee per night. I had told him, crack down on all these villas on rent because they are using domestic meters. Now when somebody is doing an a commercial activity, you can't be giving him a residential meter. He has to be charged which is commercial because that is a commercial activity. Now what is happening is these people are doing business in their houses by charging 1 lakh rupees a night, and when he says that there is power consumption, in the petition he is asking approval for substantial increase in the power purchase cost. He is saying from 2,081.55 crores, it is gone to 2,557 crores. He is saying his power purchase cost has gone up. But then why do you burden the common man? If he is saying that there is power theft which is going on. I make a charge that this is a direct theft. People are using it commercially and we are giving them basis consumer and they are doing their business. And who is suffering? The common man is suffering. The common people is suffering because they have to pay for their business. Secondly, he was talking about day tariff. He's clarified that it is not for domestic. But there was certain confusions in the state when the minister himself was on record saying that a day tariff, during peak hours, he said that beyond 5 p.m. it will be applicable for all. And then we had to go and get out him and ask him. So today, I think he's clarified that it is only for domestic and it is only for industrial. Now what happens to the commercial? The day tariff, you said that, okay, I'm not going to charge for the domestic, but are you charging it for the commercial also, the day tariff? No, it's only for industrial. Also, I think, Chairman, Goa being a small state, and we are completely dependent, 100% dependent on, because we are not a power generating state. We have to buy the entire power. I think only one plant which is there in Amona, I believe, that Vedanta. It's a very small plant. It was a Videocon plant, but department has to focus on green energy. They have to promote. I mean, whatever projections they had given, numbers which they had given, they are not actually happening. So they have to see that what is falling short, whether subsidies are not, encouraging people or consumers to move to green energy. He said that depletion of resources are happening. That's why he was answering to somebody's question, I think this gentleman's question, when they were asking about the street light, that why it is kept on during day hours. And he made a mention that natural resources are depleting. But you promote the consumer to go for green. You have to do a detailed study then why people are not going. Is there any constraint? Is there any difficulty? Because unless we move to green energy, if we push to consumers to move to green energy, I think these problems will not be resolved. But my two serious questions are, one is the revenue gap of about 49% increase is showing. It's a serious concern. Capital expenditure, where he said it is 140, it was 260 crores, 256 crores, had jumped to 1,400 crores. I think this is a serious thing. He should have gone to the public before coming to you for your approval. He should have asked, he should have taken public suggestion, and then he should have put, we raised serious objection on these 2 points. And I think he should clarify that what went wrong, whether his people in the department failed to do a proper study, why there was a revenue gap. Because ultimately, budgetary support from government of Goa, it is a common man, taxpayers' money, exchequer money, who is going to pay it? Thank you. I will like to...
You could submit your written representation. And the 2 points which you have raised, I would give a preliminary comment on that and then let Mr. Stephen answer further. So this point came in yesterday also about the works which are being done. So I had made a suggestion that the list of the works may be placed on the department's website. Not all the works, but beyond a certain limit, let's say 50 lakhs or a crore, that can come on the website for general knowledge of public. Second is that the department has already filed a petition before us giving the list of works, and the commission is also examining that. And third, regarding extra about 60 crores gap. So these are provisional figures. The commission will examine these figures, and whatever are uncontrollable costs which are beyond the control of the department, that will be allowed to be passed through. What is controllable, which is not beyond the control of the department, that will not be allowed. So that we will see. The figures are submitted to the department, submitted by the department to the commission. The commission will do a prudence check, and only the uncontrollable cost will be passed through. Regarding works, they will soon devise a system, and those list of works will be there on the website for general knowledge. Now, he can take forward these 2 points if he has extra comments.
I'll try to quickly touch upon, sir. You can always talk, sir, wherever you feel I am talking extra. First, I want to clarify, because politically, sir, I use the muscle power. And
you can skip that.
Sir, because it will affect my department and my stand, sir. Sir, it is when I say smart metering, muscle power, when I say my technicians go to disconnect, somebody will try to stop them. That is called muscle power. Still, we will try to use a lot of efforts, but then my technician come back, and second time, it becomes difficult to monitor and supervise whether he will go back because of his fear of life. It is not that kind of muscle because somebody will threaten to, take his life. But he stops, he doesn't allow to disconnect. So smart metering will help, from automatically from a remote, and it will disconnect. When I say political interference, it's not that political. It may be you also. You also political figure. You will call up, say, he is very poor, he is this, he cannot today, somebody patient is a cancer patient, so do not disconnect. That kind of power I mean to say. Did not mean to say political power where I need to bow down to the bosses. Yes, because you are a political figure. No. But a political figure can approach to the department easily because they are a political figure, and we need to listen to them. Once you listen to them, emotionally you feel if some patient is there, let's not discourage. If somebody says tomorrow if my entire freezer is full of business, do not discourage. That kind of power it is. Sometimes words can be taken here and there. So I clarified it. The next 256 sir has explained this. Now I do not know you are a political figure. Putting infrastructure for the good of the state is good or bad, I do not know. If I say to the Honorable Commissioner, I will spend only 200, and if I spend 5,000 crores also, if it is required, then I think for the state of Goa, it has to be done. Now wait, I have not completed. Every person I cannot consult. Therefore, it's an elected representative which goes to the assembly top. You also have a leader of opposition of the Congress party. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I have a meeting. He's saying 200 crores of jobs in this constituency, where those were not at all planned. Now he's saying he's having a lot of disruption, load has increased, and overhead lines are getting disrupted. So this kind of, every 40 people will say, I want another 50, I want 40. Therefore, this figure from 250 has become 1,500. But that is within the budget, what is being given by the government of the state, which is approved by the government, and government is Goa. That's what I try to understand. Control check, 59 crores increase. 59 crores is a gap. As sir said, lot of factors which are not in my control. Today the power purchase cost during peak hours, you can see in the market, is 10 rupees. Commission has approved only around 6 to 7 rupees, 4 rupees gap. If I try to do the load shedding, opposition people will come and say, how is that you are doing load shedding? So sometimes the cost fluctuates to make an arrangement for the people of Goa. So therefore that kind of cost deviation happens. Crackdown on villas have already been done. The finance department has given the entire data through different mechanisms where every person is having GST. How this tourism department has given. Based on that data, we have gone and checked and changed it. Now, if somebody has not
put it in?
Yes, we will put it.
Website.
We will put it. Yes, Mr. Patkar, please allow me to speak. You will get it. Now, if somebody illegally, without taking GST registration, without going to tourism department, still taking out this activity, it becomes very difficult for us to go and check. I cannot go inside and ask, is it your house? Whether this is the villa? It becomes difficult. Exactly. I'm coming to that point only.
Make my trip.
Yes, Mr. Patkar, I will sit with you and I will request you.
Common man is suffering. We are here for
exactly.
Right?
So if you can,
if a person is doing a theft, you can't
that is
say,
also being done. That is also being done. Mr. Patkar, that is also being done. That to make my trip and everything is being done.
Our point. See why I have raised this is because you have taken an approval of 256 crores. That's jumped by 6 times. We are not against getting better infrastructure, but the problem is you have heard the common people here. Your infrastructure is not there on the ground. Here, he said that poles are being replaced unnecessarily.
No, that specific complaint Mr. Savio can give it to us.
Yes, Honorable Chairman has said, you put it on the website for public consumption. We'll go through it and we'll come back to it.
Yes.
Let it. See, we are here to keep everything transparent. In fact, it was a suggestion to you that go and crack down those houses.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And don't burden the
Thank you so much. We will see. We will also get some input from you.
Regarding that gap also, see 5%, 10% we can understand. 49% if there is a variation, then it raises doubt in everybody's mind.
No, see, percentage cannot be applied for everything. Percentage cannot be applied for everything. 59 crores you see for 3,500. What is the percentage? See, listen, no, you are taking it wrong. You cannot see the percentage of gap. That means a gap has increased by 59 crores. Let's say 60 crores for the way of for calculation. 60 crores of 3,500. What is the percentage? See, it depends on how you apply your maths. Please, let's not go into it. Last question.
Let's not discuss first. I mean, the point is well taken. It's what you put in the denominator.
Yes, sir.
What you put in the denominator, whether you put a denominator of 120 crores or whether put a denominator of 3,000 crores. That point is appreciated. We have also answered that the commissioner will also do a check on that and only uncontrollable amount will be passed through. Yeah, the last point is.
The last point is,
One more just for your.
Yes, yes.
You know it very well.
Yes.
Every time we raise it. See, about 543 crores outstanding is showing as per your data.
Yes, sir.
Last assembly.
Yes, sir.
From government department, and 513 crores is still showing outstanding dues towards private consumers and some commercial people. Crack down. No?
Yes.
Disconnect the.
Yeah, those are disconnected, sir. One company itself is the interest component is only more than 350 crores.
So that is coming to 500.
Yeah, that is disconnected. That is in the code, sir. Last, sir, green energy. You said Goa is the only state which is giving the highest subsidy. But as a Goan, Mr. Amit Patkar, you should also understand, and I also know my family. Goans are not going for easily rooftop solar. Maybe because the rate of Goa's tariff is very, very low as compared to other states. We have, highest rainfall, people, have a concern, leakage will happen. Bangalore tiles are there, monkeys problem issues, there are different problems which are trying to, find solution, fix the problem, why it is not happening. You can also guide us.
Let's give consumer.
Yes.
I'm asking how many offices does electricity department have already?
We have given a contract for 100%. 100% going on. 100%.
Is it implemented?
Is being implemented. Almost some, the 50 installation are already completed.
How many total number of offices are there?
So right now I do not have this thing. One
Directly
tender.
starts from
One tender.
How many offices you have converted into green energy?
We have already the job is going on. We are doing 100%.
Give the numbers. No. So I think these are serious.
So this number is not part of today's discussion. You can ask so many questions which are not part of today's, and you cannot say that we do not have answer. I cannot have figures, values, carrying with me. Okay. I have answered for green energy also, sir.
If this is a part of the representation, if it is there, we will get answer from the department and it will be formed. It will be part of the order. So you will see that.
Sir, I'll just touch upon one that commercial. See, I am a Sarpach also I'm a hotelier. You cannot register your hotel online booking unless, like booking.com, Yagoda, Make My Trip, they ask for tourism certificate. Now, what Mr. Patkar is saying is exactly, it is 100% true. There is a company called Airbnb, and Goa government 2 years ago, tourism department signed an agreement with them in Goa to ease of doing business. You don't need anything. That is the issue only with Airbnb. Now in Goa, for Airbnb, you don't need panchayat, local tourism, nothing. You can sit in London, Delhi, buy crores of property, and you can sell it to the customer without client, without being there in the property, and nobody knows. The issue is with Airbnb without anything, because the government, tourism department initiated a process 3 years ago called ease of doing business, and this is the issue with Airbnb. And people are, if you go online, you book a villa in North Goa, South Goa, anybody gives on rent, they take the money in lakhs of rupees per day, and they are taking domestic consumption. And that record, which you said, we are collecting from finance department, they don't have it. The issue is you go online and check the villas, and that is a rampant destruction happening in Goa, because there is a scope of 5-star hotels are suffering, star hotels, because all are booking in Goa, big villas, big apartments, which are none of Goans reach. 2 crores, 1 crores, nobody can buy them. And this is the issue with which he is talking. And we don't have that record with the government.
Point taken, since you are in that industry, definitely the point taken, we will try to take down.
The department should take note of this and act upon it.
Next, Mr. Joy Sosan.
I think so. One of my points is already asked by Mr. Patkar. Okay, one thing is, since we are talking about daytime consumption and peak hour consumption, I would like to know from the department what is being done, to make a transition where street lighting could have been transitioned to using of solar for street lighting. Is there any proposal to reduce your peak hour consumption, given that Goa has very good solar resources, and with the modern equipment which is coming, which is automatic cutoff, can we look at transitioning to solar to reduce the, and also reduce the burden on the consumers?
We are exploring that. We are exploring that, but right now we have not gone for it because it is an additional infrastructure like a battery and a lot of other issues which might require more supervision, more monitoring, and finally more issues and more complaints. Yes, it looks very good proposal when you look on paper and when you read it. It's not that we are not saying it's a good proposal. It's a good proposal. We'll see how we can implement it. But we need to see, because all of a sudden, if you go for a solar, and for some reason certain lights doesn't work, because you need to now, right now, only have to see how you can give a supply to a pole or a light. Later, you need to see also the battery, because it is not that solar and easily it will give a light that moment of time. We require light during night. Safety is issue. And since the number is big, like 4 lakh of poles, so to go for that proposal, we require solid justification and we require a good thought process.
Because
we will explore this.
Because the street lights which come, they already come with a panel mounted on.
No, we know technology is possible, everything is possible, but when the length is huge, kilometers to kilometers, when the poles are huge, just going for this kind of technology which can directly affect the citizen of Goa, though financially looks to be a very good proposal, we require good thought process on that. We will definitely, good proposal looks very good when you talk technically on paper. We said we are looking at it.
Next, Mr. Damodar Gaonkar. Any other person who may like to give his comments?
Yes.
So it's regarding, I think this is Almeida, Ramona. It's regarding the bunch of cables, which I didn't realize that it was actually high tension wires. Am I right?
Yes.
So I'm from Veli as well. From substation in Veli, I think the underground cable has been taken till Sille, which is where ex-minister Philip Neri is. Am I right? So, and I think the high tension wires above, but I never knew they were not working. And they are still lying there. Was it a scam or something before that? Before coming here? It looks like a scam because it's all over Goa, they are lying with high tension wires. And they are not working, sir. And they are bunch cables. Sorry? Yes.
See, this point has been discussed for many years. See, what happens, any industry tries to go for a different, like as he said. Let's say today, I just decide that I will go for a solar and a battery. All of us, something doesn't work. So then, we have to go back to the normal system. And then some people will say it was a scam. So somebody has come with a technology which was financially better than the underground cabling. And that time, those officers, that government thought that will solve the problem of Goa by doing a less expenditure. But then we came to know that, there was some technical problem, whenever there's a fault, there is no return path, because of which it was become very, very difficult to locate the fault. And, nobody was sure when the fault can be located. Sometimes it was taking 2 days, 3 days. So it was becoming worse than the underground in terms of capital investment, also finding fault. So that project has failed. What could have happened is immediately the technical people would have stopped that project so that that much expenditure would not be allowed. That was a mistake, I feel. But somebody tried for some technology. Sometimes what happens, every industry has an R&D unit. We as a department do not have that. And many a time we feel why you don't go for this X technology, Y technology, Z technology. But sometimes some percentage of technology there are chances it fails. Something like that it is. But I'm not passing the entire responsibility from the department and the officers who have taken the decision. But something like that it is. But we will take a call how to remove it, how fast we can remove that.
The smart meters won't go in the same direction.
No, therefore we have done it. Therefore we have done the implementation very, very slow. First I am going for feeder metering, which is within the department, which is 2,000 almost, 1,200. Second is DT metering, again department metering, so 6,000. Then 9,000 something. Then we have government consumer around 6,000. So all these three will be checked properly, everything, and then we will touch the consumers.
Whenever technology
yes.
is being implemented.
So that check should be done.
No, not the checks. Checks will come
will come afterwards, checks and balances will come.
Yes.
But normally, new technologies are being implemented as a pilot project.
Yes.
Here is, could you just explain?
You are right, that's what I said totally.
So they have just gone implementing from the state, it should have been a pilot project.
Therefore I said, I am not passing the entire responsibility. Some technically you should have seen, you are right, absolutely correct.
And secondly,
what we have done for smart meeting pilot project has been done. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Could you please shed light on the status of the Tanmar project, whether it is being implemented?
The Tanmar project.
And what are the benefits the state has got so far? Thank you.
We are going beyond the scope of this throwing a petition. You can discuss with the department separately. We are really going beyond the scope of the petition.
No, whether we have benefited.
You can ask him.
I will personally call him.
You can do a one-to-one meeting after this hearing is over. You can wait.
Thank you. You can submit it. You can submit it. Thank you. The stakeholders who have submitted their comments orally are requested to provide them in writing to the Commission. Now, with the permission of Honorable Commission, we may conclude the public hearing. Thank you everyone for the peaceful conduct of the public hearing.